Can anybody tell me what part of speech that is? If you said noun, you're correct. Maybe you don't need this review as bad as you think. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Whatever time you are doing your learning, I'm here for you. Today we are going to review the 8 main parts of speech. This is essential for understanding grammatical patterns in the English language. Let's get into the lesson.
All right, let's review the parts of speech. So, in the English language, there are 8 parts of speech. Those parts of speech are noun, adjective, verb, adverb, pronoun, preposition, conjunction, and interjection. Now, there are some subcategories beyond that, but we're going to start here. If you want to skip around through this video, I added timestamps down in the description box. Feel free to do so, or go back and rewatch ones that you're a little bit more confused about. First, let's talk about nouns. A noun is a person, place, thing, or idea. For example, Miss Prestholt is not a robot. I'm a person. You are safe at school. School is a place. Some robots have laser eyes. Laser eyes would be a thing. You have nothing to fear. Fear is an idea. In addition to these categories of nouns, another way you can categorize them is as concrete or abstract. Concrete nouns, like my desk, are things that you can reach out and touch, taste, feel, smell, and see. Abstract nouns, on the other hand, are ones that you cannot touch, taste, feel, etc. Now let's move on to adjectives. An adjective is a word that describes a noun, so it answers one of 3 questions: which one, how many, or what kind. These questions are really important for identifying adjectives within a sentence, so I would definitely make note of them. In the first example, the brave hero saved the day. Brave is answering what kind of hero. In the second example, the hero had a purple cape. Purple is answering what kind of cape. And in the third example, she arrived in 30 seconds. 30 is answering how many seconds. All of those are adjectives. One type of adjectives are articles. This is one of those subcategories I mentioned earlier. They typically answer the question, which one, and are used to note a specific noun. So, the civilians were all listening attentively. The is answering which civilians. A true hero has the ability to inspire others. A is answering which hero. An excellent hero knows when to share the credit and is also describing which hero. Now let's talk about verbs. A verb is a word that shows either action or state of being. As I read through these examples, see if you can figure out whether they are action verbs or state of being verbs. Example number 1. The burglar was sneaky. If you guessed state of being, you're correct. He stole the diamonds. This is an action verb. He was confident. This is also a state of being verb, just like example 1. Fourth, despite his confidence, the hero caught him. Caught would be another example of an action verb. Here are a few more examples of state of being verbs. It's a little bit trickier to identify these in a sentence versus action verbs, so it would be a great idea to take note of them. Some are am, as, are, was, were, being, been, be, and is. Next, we'll talk about the adverb. An adverb is a word that describes a verb. So similar to an adjective, but it describes a verb instead of a noun. It answers one of 4 questions: how, when, where, and why. Next, let's talk about adverbs. An adverb is a word that describes a verb. It answers one of 4 questions: how, when, where, and why. Let's practice these with the example sentences. He easily flew. How did he fly? Easily. Easily is an adverb. He flew at 3 o'clock. When did he fly? At 3 o'clock. At 3 o'clock is an adverb. Are you catching on yet? He flew north. Where did he fly? North. North is also an adverb. Last one, promise. Flying was the fastest way to travel. Why did he fly? Because it was the fastest. Keep in mind these 4 easy questions as you search for adverbs within a sentence. Next, pronouns. A pronoun is used in the place of a noun or a noun phrase. Sarah likes to fly. She is from another planet. She is a pronoun that is replacing Sarah in the sentence. Colby is super strong. He is also not human. He is replacing Colby in the sentence. Colby and Sarah are powerful, so they became heroes. They is a pronoun describing both Colby and Sarah. Colby and Sarah would be an example of a noun phrase. Other pronoun examples include he, her, she, him, they, them, we, and I. Make sure you capitalize the letter I when using it as a pronoun. So that's anytime you're using it in reference to yourself. This also goes for things like I'm. So if you're using an apostrophe I am, capitalize that letter I. Make sure you avoid vague pronouns in your writing. If you're using a pronoun, it should be very clear what it refers to. So if you haven't already mentioned a person or a character, it probably isn't a good idea to use a pronoun. Talk about them first, and then use the pronoun to add variety to your writing. Next, let's talk about prepositions. A preposition is a word that shows position or direction. The cat was stuck in the tree. In is a preposition. The bird flew above the branch. Above is also a preposition. The hero stood below the tree. Below is a preposition. Some more preposition examples include about, above, according to, across, after, against, around, as at, before, behind, below, beneath, beside, besides, between, beyond, but, by, despite, down, during, from, in, inside, into. Believe it or not, there's more. Keep in mind, anytime something is showing position or direction, it is a preposition. This will be really important when we talk about phrases, particularly prepositional phrases. Next, let's talk about conjunctions. If you started singing Schoolhouse Rock just now, I don't blame you. The function of conjunctions is to connect parts of a sentence. There are 3 main types: coordinating, subordinating, and correlative. A coordinating conjunction is used to connect words, phrases, or clauses of equal rank. These are also called the fanboys. Coordinating conjunctions include for, and, nor, but, or, yet, and so. For example, Sarah has the power of flight and super strength, and is a coordinating conjunction. Colby has super strength, but cannot fly. But would be a coordinating conjunction. Notice that there's a comma before but. Something that's really common with coordinating conjunctions, especially when they introduce something contradictory in the sentence, is that they will have a comma either before or after them. Make sure you look out for commas whenever you're introducing a coordinating conjunction into a sentence. In the third example, they are not equally powerful, yet they work well together. Yet is also a coordinating conjunction that introduces something contradictory, so it has a comma in front of it. Next, we have subordinating conjunctions. A subordinating conjunction is used to introduce a subordinate, also known as a dependent clause. Common ones include WUBIS. No, this is not as great of an acronym as fanboys, but it still might help you remember. The common subordinating conjunctions are after, although, as, when, while, until, because, before, if, and since. For example, because it was raining, they postponed the game. Because it was raining is a dependent clause introduced by because, a subordinating conjunction. After the rain stopped, they rescheduled. After the rain stopped is also a dependent clause introduced by after, a subordinating conjunction. And finally, the team played cards while they waited. While they waited is a dependent clause introduced by while, a subordinating conjunction. The final conjunction type we'll talk about is correlative conjunctions. Correlative conjunctions work in pairs to link together parts of a sentence, like either or, such that, and not only, but also. For example, you can have either tacos or pizza, not both. He not only pays attention, but also takes notes. And finally, such was his strength that he could lift a car. The last part of speech we will talk about is interjections. Interjections are abrupt remarks made as an aside or an interruption into the sentence. Oh, that's unfortunate. Wow, this is a long lesson. Yes, we are almost done. And finally, okay, I'll finish up shortly. All of those red words are examples of interjections. Let's do a quick review. An adjective describes a noun and answers the question, which one, how many, or what kind. An adverb describes a verb and answers how, when, where, or why. A noun is either a person, place, thing, or idea. A pronoun replaces a noun to increase clarity. A verb states action or state of being. A conjunction connects or links words, phrases, and clauses. An interjection interrupts a sentence. Finally, a preposition shows location or direction. Now you should know all of the parts of speech. If there's something you're confused about, go back and look at it again. Thanks for listening. Have a great day.